Well, hello again. First day of summer here in southern Ontario, and yeah, it feels like summer all right. Beer out of the cooler. My chores done, etc., for the day. Thought I'd just chill out in the shade here with a cold beer, eh? Because moving in the sun's a killer. Anyways, today's rant and ramble. A fellow has commented a couple of times on my videos that I'm missing the big picture. I need to dig deeper into the globalist agenda, what some people call the dark state. Now, by way of explanation, I'll say he suggested I see some videos by a fellow named the Grizzly Patriot, who's in Saskatchewan. And I did, and I suggest that you check him out. You know, the man has taken a moral stand and is sticking his neck out to say what he believes in, and power to him, I say. You should follow him, maybe sign up, join up, whatever the case may be. Give him your support. He's getting out there, he's getting heard, and he has no intention of stopping. Now, a video I saw this morning, he explained about the globalist agenda, Agenda 21 of the UN's. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear that. It's been around for a while. He's certainly not the only one exposing it. It does indeed exist. Some people just don't want to hear it. They say that's tinfoil hat, conspiracy, bunk. Well, it's not. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, it is out there and it exists. And by way of explanation, again, you should see his videos, but to loosely paraphrase what he said, imagine the ruling elite, the 1% who hold 99% of the world's wealth. His words were to the effect of, imagine having so much money that your every whim could be bought 10 times over with no consideration whatsoever. I mean, there's people out there who, they drop $1 million the same way a poor fellow like me, no more or less consideration than a $10 bill. And he's right, and more my words than his now. Think about that. Their perspective on the world is so far away from the other 99% of the people who are happy just to eke out a living and get through. Make the world a little better place for their children. Imagine their perspective looking down on the masses. And the world is an overpopulated cesspit. It's going to hell in a handbasket. How can you imagine that they wouldn't think that their agenda would be superior to what's happening? But my point in this rant and ramble is, and I'm going to use an analogy of a fort. If our country is a fort, fortress, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to fight that, let's just call it Agenda 21. Well, it's pretty hard to fight from a fort whose foundations have been undermined by a spy from within. Yeah, you know who I mean. And same said spy has left the fortress not only unguarded, but impoverished. Very little in the way of resources. Pretty hard to fight from a fort that's in that position, isn't it? So, this is my point to the fellow who said I should check out this Grizzly Patriot and thought I was unaware of the bigger picture. Well, I'm not unaware of it. But my stance is we need to build the fortress back up to what it should be. We need to get rid of the spy and his agents, his minions, who are in here with us, tearing it down, starving it, undermining it. We need to make Canada strong to have any hope of holding off, again, what I'll simply refer to as Agenda 21, which is an oversimplification, but there's way too many sheeple, and they're difficult, if not impossible, to awaken. It's almost impossible to get them to look aside from the haircut and say, what is he actually doing and not doing, but mostly doing, to present them with Agenda 21 type of thinking, I'll call it, is simply beyond them. They can't or won't grasp it. However, there is a growing number of people in this country who are seeing that our fortress, our nation, is in a bad way. And this fellow patriots, patriotic groups, I'll call them, little doughhead characters like me who want to express their opinion, we're trying to awaken people that we need to straighten out our own problems first before we can hold off a bigger force, a bigger problem. So that's what I'm trying to do. You know, it's a humble objective, but you know, I don't have any money, I don't have any political clout. This is all I can do. And I'm just going to summate by saying Canada today in Ottawa, I think it's going to be a lot bigger than any one of the number of parties who have been, what would you say, suggesting, recommending, pleading that we stand up for our rights and stop what is happening in this country. And, well, before it's too late. So, my hat's off to everyone who's doing whatever they think is right towards that agenda, or I shouldn't say agenda, should I? Towards that objective of straightening out our own house. So, that's it for this video. I'm going to film a few more today just because it's hot. Some ideas and notions that I have. And please follow along. And not just me. If you're starting to wake up faster. If you're awake, try to awaken more around you. And there is nothing bigger, nothing that we need to do more than arrest what is happening in this country. Good luck to us all. Take care.